You know, the word criminal gets thrown around a lot in this society of ours. I mean, I've done bad things, sure. I know you've probably done bad things. We've all done our fair share of wrongful deeds in this here world that we all live in. Who's to say who belongs in jail or not? Drug dealers? They're just trying to make ends meet. Gas station robbers? Mike Brown, anyone? Hands up. Don't shoot, you know? Another innocent man. O.J. Simpson? Hey, the glove didn't fit. They couldn't have quit. I don't know what that means. I was born in 2007, but I'm vaguely aware of O.J. Simpson and understand that he was some kind of high-profile criminal in the 90s. And then, at the lowest end of the totem pole, you got a guy like me. What was my crime, you ask? Yeah. You already know, judging by the title of this video, I'm going to be going away for a while. We all knew that this would happen someday, so it's not shocking. But the question on everybody's mind now is, what did they get me on? And I'll reveal that right now. The crime that I was convicted for was, drumroll please. Yep, self-immolation. I lit myself on fire in public and a crooked cop took me down and slapped an arson charge on me. And I just want to set the record straight here. All the charges are bogus. I lit myself on fire for my new Mr. Beast style viral video. What was my goal, you ask? Well, that's simple. To become the most retarded man of all time. The most flame retardant man, that is. The most retarded man who ever lived. I was going to try to build up an immunity to fire by lighting myself on fire just a little bit at a time. I already had 2 prior incidents involving being set on fire before. Once at summer camp when I was a kid and thought stop, drop, and roll meant you were supposed to roll into the fire. And once recently when I burned down my apartment building to the ground on accident. There's a famous saying in this society of ours. If you play with fire, you're going to get burned. In my case, I played with fire and only got burned a little bit. None of my burns were even visible. Below the waist, I look like Freddy Krueger, but as long as I still got the money maker, I still got my shot in Hollywood. And yes, my ding-dong is burnt to a crisp, but it's fully functional still, and the ladies love it. They say it looks like a charbroiled hot dog, and they love the taste. The ladies love to make love to a freak. That's a lesson I learned a long time ago. Every girl out there has some kind of weird fetish, you know? These girls nowadays, they wanting to get choked, you know? They be wanting fantasy creatures, dragons and centaurs, all kinds of weird crap, you know? These are just the perks of living in the downfall of civilization. And yeah, it's not that big a deal or anything. This is just another bump in the road for me, be assured. My lawyer thinks that with a plea deal, I can do 3 to 5 years minimum. Austin Jones is doing 10 years. What a sucker. Yeah. When my lawyer told me about the deal, I said, 3 to 5 years? How about I'm doing none of them? He didn't get the reference, so got the old uncomfortable silence on that joke. But yeah, not too bad of a ratio on that though. You see, I go for the joke many a time. I get the uncomfortable silence about 35% of the time. Get the pity laugh about 56% of the time. It's all just math at the end of the day. I don't see my comedy career as a failure. I see it as an equation that has to be solved. X equals Dane Cook. Remember that guy? A B line? Why is it called that anyway? You don't walk in the shape of a B. Am I right, folks? Yeah. Anyway, I'm actually looking forward to my time in the slammer. It's going to be a whole new chapter of my life, you know? Me, BGkumbi, going to prison in 2019. Who would have thunk it? It's going to be like that season of My Name is Earl, where Earl goes to prison. I'm finally getting my own prison season. This is going to be so epic, you know? Plus, it's not my first time in jail anyway. I did a few months in the county lockup back in the day because I was arrested for throwing watermelons off the old overpass. The bail was only $130, but I didn't have that kind of cash on me, and my parents refused to pay it either. Because they were just so glad to be rid of me for a while. Yep. Spent about 6 months in the clink for the old watermelon heist back in the day. And really, I enjoyed being in prison more than being free. Society is the real prison, man. That's what I say. The new Joker movie, he's an incel. Did anybody see that yet? But yeah. I pretty much figured that I'd end up in prison eventually anyway. So, at this point, I'm more preparing for life behind bars than preparing for any kind of future. I already have a few connections on the inside, too. I've been writing these letters to incarcerated serial killers for years. I write them letters making fun of them and bragging about how they'll never be able to touch me because they're in jail and I'm not. In retrospect, not the best idea, since I'm going to be going to the same jail as many of the criminals I sent mocking letters to. But I already have a plan for how to survive once I'm on the inside. So yeah, let me break this down for you. And this is important. You might want to listen, because I'm about to give you the secret on how to survive in the big house. You ready? Alright, so first day, I swagger into the place, the joint, walking like I'm Conor McGregor, heading down to the octagon. I go in there first day, first hour, first minute. I find the biggest buck in the yard, just look all around the yard. Pick out the biggest, toughest, buckest guy I see. And then what? I size him up. I get right up in his face, you know? Walk right up to the biggest buck in that yard. Yeah, go right up to him. Then I drop down and start sucking him to completion. Yup. This is my plan so far. Don't have all the details worked out yet, but I think it'll all work out in the end. That's just a joke, by the way. You see, in this society, we have a funny humor joke where when you go to prison, you get laughed at because you're going to be forced to perform homosexual acts. It's very funny, you see. In this society, when you break the rules, you get sent to the gay sex dungeon for your punishment, and it's very hilarious. I'm trying to make more jokes like that these days to fit in with my fellow humans, because I've been told that I'm very off-putting and I make people uncomfortable. The point is, I'm going to jail because I'm a social nuisance. But I won't be crying about it like that guy in Bohemian Rhapsody, though. Because at the end of the day, I know guys like me don't last long on the outside. Truth be told, I enjoy the structure of the prison industrial complex. There's something really zen about stamping license plates. Stamp my plates, get my 5 cents an hour, end of the week, I get my ramen packet and a sticky bun. What more could you want out of life? Just don't touch that candy bar I hid in the shower flip-flop, or I'll have to knife fight you to protect my reputation. In prison, when someone touches your candy, you have to stab them, or else everyone will think you're some kind of coward. It's, uh, yeah, not the best system of doing business, but it's the best we've got. Personally, I just pick the biggest buck in the yard. I break into his cell, steal all his crap, then accept my beating and shower rape. I get all your stuff. Worst case scenario, I die. Oh wow, you killed me and this nightmare is finally over. Wow, you really showed me. Not. Enjoy prison while I'm chilling out in heaven. In heaven, you get unlimited commissary. And that's about it. Not too many frills in heaven. Unlimited supply of sticky buns and Snicker bars, and hopefully a TV in your cell. Yeah, I like to think that there are cells in heaven. I mean, if I don't get my own cell in heaven, I'm going to be really disappointed. And in heaven, you get paid an entire dime. 1 dime per hour for the slave labor that God makes you do. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. You get paid in cigarettes. You just get unlimited cigarettes. But you have to stamp license plates to earn them. My vision of heaven is maybe a bit different than what you've read about in the Bible, but I'm just pontificating here. I don't actually know what I'm talking about. Really, you shouldn't listen to me, probably. Because if all my school guidance counselors and my parents were right, I'm not going to heaven. I'm going to the other place. Down there with Winston Churchill. And hell is way worse than heaven. In hell, well, there is commissary, but the only thing you can buy is granola power bars and black licorice. Yeah, you can buy some Nilla wafers too, but they're always stale. And there's soda, but it's all the off-brand stuff, like Dr. Thunder and Mountain Mist. In hell, there are conjugal visits, but the only person you're allowed to have sex with is Larry King. And he makes you maintain eye contact the whole time. Yeah. You're gonna hate it, trust me. So you better behave yourself if you don't want to go there. And the devil is there. And he's just like a really passive-aggressive coworker. And he humble brags with his vacation photos on Facebook all day. You're gonna hate him. Don't like the sound of all this? Then you better get your soul in order. So yeah, that's the whole story, folks. I'm going to prison. But I actually see this as a positive thing. It's like a whole new chapter and a whole new adventure in my life. What kind of prison situation will I get into? Will it be like The Longest Yard starring Adam Sandler, where I have to put together a football team and take on the guards in a game of two-hand touch? Or will it be like American History X, where I make a black friend and learn not to be a racist drumpfed supporter anymore? Personally, I'm hoping for that orange is the new black type situation. They accidentally put me into the girls' prison because my Ellen DeGeneres haircut made them think that I was a woman. Man, that'd be so freaking cool if they just put me in the women's prison. I could beat up everybody. I could be like one of those power lifters who pretends to be a girl to compete in women's sports and just breaks all the records. Just the end times, you know? Anything goes. Anything goes. Yeah. Just breaking rocks out in the hot sun, you know? I fought the law. We went a few rounds. I got a few hits in. The law got a few hits in. We both had a couple of Dragon Ball Z style transformations. But when the dust cleared, the law won this round. I tip my hat to you, sir. I tip my mega hat to the police force of this country. Thank you, Mr. Sirs, for kicking me in the pants and setting me on the right path. I broke the rules. Now I'm gonna go do my time in the gay sex dungeon. Yeah, in this society, when you do something wrong, you have to go to the rape dungeon, and you have to join a neo-Nazi skinhead gang to survive. Those are just the rules. It's very hilarious. But anyway, abadee, abadee, abadee. That's all, folks. That's all, folks. Good night.